you've said something about gravity, sort of that you don't need to explicitly inject anything into the system. They can be learned from the data, and gravity is an example of something that could be learned from data. Sort of like the physics of the world. Like what what are the limits of what we can learn from data? Do you think we can, a very simple, clean way to ask that is, do you really think we can learn gravity from just data? The idea, the laws of gravity.
So, so something that I think is a common kind of pitfall when thinking about prior knowledge and learning is to assume that just because we know something, then that it's better to tell the machine about that rather than have it
Right.
figure it out on its own. In many cases, things that are important that affect many of the events that the machine will experience are actually pretty easy to learn. Like, if every time you drop something it falls down, like, yeah, you might not get you might get kind of the Newton's version, not Einstein's version, but it'll be pretty good and it will probably be sufficient for you to act rationally in the world because you see the phenomena all the time. So things that are readily apparent from the data, we might not need to specify those by hand. It might actually be easier to let the machine figure them out.
It just feels like that there might be a space of many local minima in terms of theories of this world that we would discover and get stuck on.
Yeah,
That
of course.
Newtonian mechanics is not necessarily easy to come by.
Yeah, and well, in fact, in some fields of science, for example, human civilization is itself full of these local optima. So, for example, if you think about how people tried to figure out biology and medicine, for the longest time, the kind of rules, the kind of principles that serve us very well in our day-to-day lives actually serve us very poorly in understanding medicine and biology. We had kind of very superstitious and weird ideas about how the body worked until the advent of the modern scientific method. So that does seem to be, a failing of this approach, but it's also a failing of human intelligence, arguably.